Alvin York. What to say about him? For starters, he was a hero, but there's many other things about him I'm sure the majority of people don't know. He was the third of 11 children growing up in Tennessee. His parents were both farmers.
Give me another vodka.
He had a problem with drinking, and he was a very heavy drinker, prone to fighting. He left to go to the saloon, get really drunk, and then beat on people younger than him and weaker than him, and it became a problem. York's mother was part of a pacifist Christian denomination, and they didn't believe in drinking, let alone fighting. And she always tried to talk York into stopping drinking, but being an alcoholic, that's very hard to do. But it only took one night for everything in his life to change, and that was the night when his friend died in one of the bar fights that they were in. They were fighting against two other men, the saloon patrons, and he got killed. And York was then stumbling home in the dark, in the storm, and it was thundering and lightning, and he heard a church choir singing in the distance. And, you know, he's freezing, dripping wet, really drunk, so he runs into the church to get shelter, and he thought about what his mom had said, being the pacifist Christian that she was, and he decided that he was going to reform and stop drinking, and as a memory to his friend, he was just going to be a good person and not fight, and hopefully no more people that he knew would die of bar fights.
Well, in the year 1917, York got the draft for the war, and he really didn't want to go. He was around 29 years old, and it was tough because, you know, after he just switched into being this die-hard Christian, you know, and then he has to go to war, and that's completely against everything he believes. He believes killing people is completely wrong. There's no justification for any of it, and now he has to go to war. So he tried to get CO status, but he was denied CO status because they had no specific doctrine of pacifism in the religion, so they couldn't really, you know, let him not go to war just because of that. So he went to war.
Attend hut!
Alvin York reporting for duty.
Pusher Ross reporting for duty.
He met his friend Pusher in the war, and he got the name because he worked in the subway and lived in New York.
Oh hey, are you new around here? Never seen you before.
Yeah, Alvin York, nice to meet you.
Pusher Ross, I'm from Bronx, New York. Where you from?
Tennessee.
I could tell by your accent, pretty damn strong.
Yeah, I got myself some strong Tennessee accent.
So, how you liking it here in the Army?
It's crazy. I don't even like it. You know, I don't like killing people, you know?
Hey, I was the same exact way till I came here, and I completely changed. So what was your job before you came here?
I just worked on my farm in a small town, you know, nothing special. Where'd you get your name?
Oh, well, yeah, I know it's a strange name. People ask me all the time, but I worked in the subway, and you know the traffic gets crazy when people are trying to come in and out. You know, rush hour, everything for work and whatnot. So I just was pushing everybody to make sure that there's a entrance way, and they just saw me pushing. It just kind of stuck.
Well, you and me, Pusher, we're here to the end. Yeah, let's kick some German butt.
Let's go kick their ass, dog. Alright, York, let's see what you got. Fire!
Sergeant York had no idea how good he was at shooting until one day when they were having shooting practice and he shot the bullseye 6 times in a row.
5th time. Last time. How did you get the bullseye in all 6 shots, York?
It's all home practice. Guess it really paid off. He had this technique that was widely used in all wars after the war he was in. It was, he'd always shoot the soldier in the back. He would start in the back because if you shoot the person in the front, then everybody's going to see that person down and they're all going to get scared and run away or disperse or something like that. But if you shoot the one in the back, the ones in the front don't even notice and they just keep on running and you can just pow, pow, pow them all down on the ground. It was a great technique. He used it to kill many, and it led to the surrender of the other side and got a lot of prisoners that way, all because of that technique.
So when Sergeant York came home from the war, he was devastated only to find that somebody had built on his land. Well, surprise, surprise, everybody in the town had built a house for him because they were so proud of him of his accomplishments over in Europe. So he always wanted the bottomland. He finally got it. Prior to this event, he had even turned down $150,000. He turned this money down because he only wanted enough to buy the bottomland. He was too modest to have any left over. I guess that really paid off because now he has a wonderful house to share with his beautiful wife, Gracie.
Oh, York, baby, I'm so glad you're finally home.
Me too, Gracie, me too.
Oh, let's go to our house now.
I just want to get my bottomland.
Okay, honey, let's go.
Oh my God, somebody put a house on the land I got. I wanted.
Oh, honey, don't worry. Everybody in our town built this for you since you were such a war hero.
I could never afford this.
It's for free.
Wow.
We're so lucky. Let's go inside.